Real estate market is about to crash by 50% in the next week. Yeah, there are a lot of people who wish that. And then there's a lot of people who are out there just preaching this because they have their own agenda. Now, let me be clear. I have an agenda too. I'm a real estate agent here in Las Vegas area, and I want to help you buy and sell homes. Problem is, we got people out there who are destroying, in my opinion, people's lives, and they have a right to say that. Anything that we cover, someone has a right to say, and I have a right to react. So I'm considering this fair use. I'm going to react to a video by this particular creator. His name is Orlando Minor. And if you look, all of his videos are negative against everything in the world. There is a play for that. I don't know if he's a real estate agent or not. Let's just go through it, start reacting, and getting the big nukes reaction to what Mr. Orlando is saying. Let's do it.
Realtors aren't gonna like this video. They have been having a rough year, right? First you had NAR come in and say, you know, we're gonna change the commission structure. Now we have the...
I ain't gonna lie, realtors have had a rough year. In 2023, 49% of realtors sold one or fewer homes. It is a tight market out there and realtors are hurting. So he is not lying about that.
We have the DOJ, the government coming in and saying,
we don't want you to be paid anywhere.
oh, it's tough, man. I'm telling you guys, listen.
Here's the DOJ's position in the Penn's case, which is what he's talking about. Their position is they don't believe the seller should have to pay for the real estate agent for the buyer, and the buyer should pay. They're not saying you shouldn't get paid. So this is hyperbole, okay?
This is what's happening. When I keep telling individuals that the market is going in a downward direction, we are seeing entire industries change in the process due to unaffordability of these homes, guys.
He's right and wrong. Market is not going down, it's going up. And that's despite the high interest rates. And the worst part, somebody was asking me this question today. When is it a good time to buy? Now, I know every realtor says the same thing. Anytime's a good time to buy. No, it's not. It's just like anytime's a good time to sell. No, it's not. As a matter of fact, I just took the listing for his home and I was like, no, now is a good time to buy because the interest rates are so high. We have so few homes out there. They're selling, but when the interest rates come down to about 6%, Barbara Corcoran, you know the one from Shark Tank, she says the market is going to go on fire, and I believe her because people aren't just waiting for them to go back down to 3% again.
We're going to talk about it and we're going to break this down. You guys really need to hear this because if you're trying to buy a home, you're trying to sell a home, you want to be informed on what you can actually do when it comes to real estate agents, when you're hiring them, and what you have to pay and what you don't have to pay. My name is Orlando. Welcome to the channel, guys. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. It helps out the channel so much. And make sure you check in the pinned comment and the description. I have a newsletter. Yes, a newsletter that is free. You can...
See, I think this is part of what his shtick is. He's trying to get people into the newsletter. If anyone is in business right now, they're saying you can't trust Facebook and all these other places. You have to build your own list. What he's doing is list building. There's a lot of stuff you can do with that list to make a lot of money. So by focusing on the negative, and I don't mean just focus, I mean creating the negative, you can build your list. Bam.
Beat free, and you will get a step-by-step guide when you sign up to claim your NAR settlement payment, guys. And also too, if you're any...
Hold up. A step-by-step guide? This is the first time he said this one, to claim your NAR settlement. You know how much that NAR settlement is going to be? About a Starbucks card. Sign up. Let me sell your information to other people because it's a double opt-in. And I'm going to tell you how to get that Starbucks gift card. Not even a $20 one.
commercial financing that you need, duplexes, triplexes, whatever it is, purchase, refi, cash out, give me a call. I will help you. I've been a lender for 16 plus years, guys. So please contact me. That is in the description. Guys, listen, we got to talk about.
Okay, so now we know his shtick. He is a lender. So I'm still trying to figure it all out right now.
We have to talk about this. The DOJ, they came out and said that they believe compensation shouldn't be anywhere. It shouldn't even be noted, especially on the MLS. It shouldn't be noted anywhere. Do you understand what that means? Well, if you don't, we're going to go over it. DOJ, offers of agent compensation should not be made anywhere. Well, let's kind of give a little backstory to this, guys. When the news came out about the Nell Sauterman and all of these brokerages coming out and throwing out huge amounts of money, millions and millions and millions of dollars to settle a claim that they overcharged their clients when it came to compensation, right?
So they overcharged, their parents overcharged, their grandparents overcharged, their great-grandparents overcharged, because the real estate commission's been around over 100 years. But let's get away from that.
Right? We know that. We saw that. And so what happened? What happened? Well, it was a fire frenzy of realtors going onto social media saying,
oh, you think we care about this? We don't care about this. Oh, man, we got so many workarounds, so many loopholes. Hey, actually, look, let me do a video and showing you how we're going to work around this. Let me show you this. We're going to put so much pressure on sellers. Well, you know, they will have to go back to the old way because nobody will buy their house if they're not going to compensate the buyer side. Also,
and they're saying things like,
do you, seller, do you want to be left in the dust? Do you want to be left in the dust? Meaning that not having your property marketed the right way because you don't want to pay a few extra dollars? Well, good luck, because we're going to market first these properties where the buyer's agent is getting commission too. If you want to be ahead of the pack, seller, you need to pay the buyer's compensation.
That's what these realtors are saying.
Okay, let's just break it down. Part of this lawsuit, and it's the reason you can no longer have the compensation on the MLS, was saying, I'm serious. They went, okay, so it's really unfair for us because if I only want to offer this amount, you know, number of dog tags, and somebody else offers more, the real estate agents will show the other house first. That's unfair to me just because I want to save money. It may be unfair to you, but what you have to understand is under the code of ethics, we're supposed to do what's best for the buyer or client.
All over social media. And the government's just sitting there like,
please tell us more. How are you going to do this again? No, start with step one. Step one, what will you do? Make it a list for us. How are you going to do these loopholes and these workarounds? Huh. Okay, thank you. We really appreciate that.
And they came out with this. They went first by saying, we appreciate what you did on this settlement, NAR, but it doesn't go far enough. At the status hearing on Tuesday, the commission lawsuit, a lawyer of the Department of Justice said the terms of the NAR Association of Realtors nationwide commission lawsuit settlement agreement represented an improvement. You hear the word, improvement. Remember, these are lawyers. You got to remember, guys, these words have...
These are not only lawyers, these are lawyers who don't have a real job. If they did, they'd be in the private sector.
Have meetings. So it says here, an improvement. It didn't say, good job, we'll accept it, fully covered. It says an improvement. However, it remains unknown if the DOJ will file a statement of interest for another lawsuit as it did for the current lawsuit that they're currently in. Listen to this, guys. I need you to hear this. During her remarks, Jessica Leal, an attorney of the DOJ, noted that the DOJ believes offers of compensation should not be made anywhere, but certainly not the MLS. What is...
Starting 17 August, they will not be on the MLS. The only thing is that someone has to call up and say, will you offer compensation? Now, there is some stuff that is coming up where entrepreneurs are putting together where it's like, okay, my client is offering this, but it's not on the MLS. That was actually allowed in the settlement, okay? DOJ still doesn't like that. They want the buyer to pay.
What does that mean? They're saying,
listen, I don't know what type of workarounds you have, this pressure of putting it on the seller. There's zero compensation. We need to have it totally separate. The seller should never be paying the buyer's agent. The buyer's agent should be getting its commission or its payment from the buyer only. We do not want the seller to pay anything, okay?
Here he is telling 100% of the truth. That is their position. They want the buyer to pay for their own commission, even though that seller, when they bought, the seller paid for their commission. They want to have their cake and eat it too. And really, it's not the seller. It was a bunch of people who got together and went like, here's a good way to make some money. And then a bunch of smart lawyers going, yeah, by the time you get that Starbucks card, we're going to have new G5s, which is what's going to happen.
Okay, so it was an improvement, but since
My
you guys
opinion.
think that there's this workaround, this workaround that you explained in multiple videos on multiple social media posts, how are you gonna get past this new rule? Well, we're gonna tell you what. We at the
It wasn't getting past the rule. You see, this is where he is, shall I say, misinterpreting. What they were doing was working within the rule. What it says is you cannot offer compensation on the MLS, but a seller can still offer compensation, but how do they convey that to the buyer? So a bunch of entrepreneurs, again, it's like, hey, this is an opportunity. They've been creating websites where you can go in and say 123 Main Street, the seller is offering a dog tag. And then when time comes, you can go to 123 Main Street and see if there's a dog tag. That's not getting around. That is using everything that is within the scope of the deal.
The DOJ, the government, the US, we don't think you should get paid at all from the seller. At all from the seller.
Did you guys hear what I said? At all from the seller.
And we are going to make sure that we pursue you guys to make sure that that does not happen.
Leo also
They didn't
noted
say
that the DOJ was not currently supporting or opposing the NAR settlement agreement. Now, guys, what does that mean too? Again, words have meanings, right? We're currently not supporting or opposing. Well, I'm not a lawyer, guys. You know that. I'm not a lawyer, but
I'm not a lawyer either. But remember, he's extracting out what he wants to extract.
if I could read in between the lines, it sounds like the DOJ says, we cooking. We cooking up something.
We have an agreement that you're not gonna like.
We've already told you it was an improvement, but it didn't go far enough. We really don't oppose, but we also don't support you. So how about we give you the agreement you should use? How about we tell you guys, this is what we need to.
They don't have the power to do that, believe it or not. I mean, I'm not a lawyer. I'm just my opinion. They can suggest all they want. They would have to actually sue. And maybe they were just figuring, the power of the government. You never want to be sued by the government. We'll see.
To see happen.
And what the government is basically saying that needs to happen, the lawyer just stated it. She just said, you better not have sellers pay commissions. You better figure out a way to provide.
Did not say that. Said it was a good start. Didn't say anything about the sellers better not, although they have come out and said they believe the buyers should be paying their own agents commissions, which is going to create an interesting dynamic out there. But make sure you realize, read what he even highlighted. They didn't say the sellers better not. He is expounding to make it negative.
Provide value for your customer. If you're a buyer's agent, everybody needs to hold their own. You shouldn't be getting huge chunks of money from the seller and then saying you're representing the buyer, right? You shouldn't do that. That's what they're saying, guys. And I've said this over and over again, guys. I believe that it's going to go to a flat fee system. I believe that a lot of buyer's agents are now going to say, okay, look.
I want to go a little bit further on this, and then I'll explain how flat fees would actually work. Somebody's going to get hurt.
Look, I will do XYZ. I will go ahead and find you a house for $1,500 or $2,000. They're going to add that in and try to figure out what's a flat fee. I don't see the percentage commission going on anymore. I see that's just dead in the water. It may work on the seller side, but on the buyer side, I just don't see that. And the reason being is that
How does it work on the seller side and not the buyer side when there are plenty of flat fee commission brokers out there? You see, there's plenty of them, lots. And then I want to discuss a little bit more and show what can really happen.
It's hard enough. Remember, a lot of these loan programs like FHA or the VA loan, a lot of these are low down payment programs, right? 2%, 3%, 3.5%, you know.
First of all, I want to dispel a myth. The VA, first of all, is a 0% down. And this is a lender. He should know this stuff. FHA is 3.5% down. You can put in more. You can even put down payments in on a VA loan. I don't know why you would. In many circumstances, including the interest rates we have today, yeah, you would save some money per month, but the payback, I just ran the numbers for someone when they wanted to put a certain amount down. It was going to, the amount they were going to save at current interest rates, it would take them over 16 years just to equal back up with what they would wanted to put down. That don't add up. 16 years, a lot can happen in 16 years, including the fact that the economy is more than likely to straighten itself out and interest rates will probably be back down to about 4.5%, which makes it even worse.
It goes all the way up to 5%, and then VA is 0, right? So imagine going to a buyer and saying that, oh, not additionally to the down payment that you have to bring, now you have to bring an additional 3%. I don't really see that format working. I see it.
I can see him, he's right on that. That's gonna be hard for folk, hard. I don't say it, but see, the thing is, he forgot to mention closing costs. And according to where you're at, what lender you use, he's a lender, he knows this. That can be more than the commission. We'll see.
See it pushing more people away because they don't have the money to put as a down payment and pay the real estate agent, or they go about it themselves and say, okay, it's not that difficult, which I'm not saying it's difficult or if it isn't difficult, but what I'm trying to say is that people will find other opportunities in other ways to get around individuals buying a home, right? We're talking about buyers. We'll try to figure out different ways to get around that.
Yeah, there will. And there's already speculations on some of the ways they're going to get around it. Number one is they're going to start going to open houses. Open houses are about to become hot over the next couple of years. So here's the thing. I'm looking for a house this weekend. Am I going to go to drive around, look at open houses, look at Zillow and look at open houses? That's a small proportion of houses I can see, which means I'm not going to be getting the best value. Think about that. Think. And the other one is just go to the listing agent, which is great. You know, the listing agent base all of their stuff on the 98.5% of their buyers being brought from other agents, which means they now have to go and show up at every showing. Maybe I'll have time and I'll show you how this is not going to work.
Right, to get away from paying a 2 to 3% commission. Now, if you came up and said you will do a $1,500 representation fee, then that could be something different. That's totally different. It's almost like paying for an appraisal or paying for a home inspection, right? That
appraisals run $450 to $675. He's talking $1,500, $2,000. Home inspections are about $400. So the home inspection plus the appraisal is less than he's talking. And you know what? I'm gonna hold up because I know what he's trying to do. We're gonna talk about
that portion isn't, right? That portion isn't included. You have to come out of your pocket for that. And that's where I see real estate agents really going on the buyer side. I see that they're just gonna have a flat fee like a home appraiser or like a home inspection guy, right? That's what's going to happen in my eyes. That's the way that I see us going. Now I know.
Now, in a way, I believe he's right on this. But see, here's the problem. You put an offer in on a house. You get it accepted. You do the home inspection, it's $400. You don't like the way the inspection came back, or the seller doesn't want to fix things. Oh, by the way, who negotiates with the seller? Another story. You say, okay, you cancel the deal. Go on to the next house. Have some problems. Go on to the third. Do you think the inspector waits until the third house to get paid? Do they wait until you're satisfied and you've made a good deal for what repairs need to be done? Or do you think they get paid up front? Same thing for the appraiser. That's the part he's missing. If it goes to a flat fee, you have to pay no matter what. So can you imagine going through 3 houses and paying that $2,000 3 times up front? There's nobody who's going to take $1,500 or $2,000 on a chance you're going to buy a house.
I know what you're getting.
Orlando, come on, man. Come on, man. What are you talking about? A ban on commission? What are you talking about? What would make you think that the government would do that?
The DOJ became involved in this lawsuit, which it filed in 2020 by home seller plaintiffs in Boston area. This was in October 23. Filed a statement saying that it had significant concerns about the settlement reached between the plaintiff and the MLS PIN in June 2023. February 2024, the DOJ filed a statement of interest in the suit, which it called for a complete, you hear me? What I'm saying? A complete ban on cooperative compensation, leading many to believe that it will in fact look to intervene in the NAR's settlement agreement, guys. So did you hear what I said? A complete ban of sharing commissions. A complete ban. What the government is saying is, again, what I stated earlier, we do not want and real estate agents, I get it. You're probably gonna get triggered by this. But the truth is, we do not want sellers paying buyers agents at all. There's no loop around. There's nothing. We do not want it. It should be nowhere. It shouldn't be on the MLS. It shouldn't be on an agreement. It should be nowhere to be seen. That's what they're saying.
We want to ban this practice, period.
That's what the government is saying, guys.
You know how it was before they had buyer's agents? If you went to a real estate agent, they worked for the seller. Everything that they did was in the seller's best interest, not yours as a buyer. The DOJ wants you to go back to something like that. Well, maybe not something like that, but if you're not paying and the seller is paying, because the crux of the lawsuit was the person didn't feel like they should have to pay for someone to negotiate against them. Do you want someone to negotiate against the seller and get you the best price? Yeah, I thought so.
It's getting big. It's getting big. And here, this is the thing. I just want to add this on so that you guys understand where I'm coming from. I'm getting emails from real estate agents. I'm speaking to real estate agents. And you know what a lot of them are doing? They're saying,
This is ridiculous. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I was just doing this for part-time making money. Everybody was making tons of money 2 years ago. 2 years ago, everybody was making money. Now I'm here trying to make my money, and you guys are trying to stop me. I'm out of here.
So what are we seeing? We're seeing...
Wouldn't have mattered because most of these part-time agents aren't making any money anyway, even without this. And it's because there are so few houses on the market. And that's why we have so much pent-up demand. And that's why prices continue to go up, even with these interest rates. Supply and demand, folks.
Real estate agents, they're bouncing from the industry. They're leaving the industry so fast. NAR is just trying to figure out, like, what's going on? What are we going to do? Now, you have to remember, NAR makes tons and tons and tons of money from memberships. We're continuing to see membership numbers drop, and drop, and drop. You may be a real estate agent right.
And right now it's dropping and dropping. He's right. But we haven't hit what we were before COVID. But it's going to continue to drop. And it's going to be a lot of it has to do with this. And a lot of tech is going to come in that's going to do a lot of things. And for the buyer side, you may not be happy. We'll discuss it later.
Right now, and thinking to yourself, yeah, I mean, what's the point? It's so hard to sell a house now. I have to do more things to earn my money, which is ironic because that's what everybody else does. But my point is, it's not as easy as it was previously, right? During the pandemic, real estate agents, buyer and sellers, agents, they were raking it in, guys. They were raking it in. That's the reason why the numbers of NAR memberships just skyrocketed. It went through the roof. Everybody, your pizza delivery guy, your guy who works at McDonald's, your low stock guy, he was a realtor. Everybody was a realtor. Oh yeah, man, just get your real estate.
Prior to the pandemic, they estimated the average person knew 10.4 realtors. I don't know what it is now. This is prior pandemic.
State license. It's just a multiple choice question. There's no barrier of entry. No.
There is a barrier to entry. There's 90 hours of education. And to be honest, a lot of people don't pass the test. If you take that test, it has nothing to do with what you studied in school, nor does it have anything to do with the practice of real estate. It's all in left field. I've seen people take that test 3, 4, 5 times. Again, it's only $100. Get your school off of Groupon, put in everything, in a couple of months you're a realtor.
No barrier of entry. Your DoorDash guy, he's a realtor too. I mean, it's the truth. There was a DoorDash guy.
Okay, I don't know how this is going to end, but I got to do this. So a car was broke down, and we had to get a lift from the mechanic back home because it was going to take a day or so. And we put both cars in because they're old, and I don't want to buy new cars. And the Lyft driver was a real estate agent. Yeah. No lies.
No joke. There was a DoorDash guy. He said, I know how I'm going to get clients to buy homes. I'm just going to deliver their food with DoorDash and then leave my business card on their door in their food with the bag. And that's how I'm going to get it. Well, unfortunately, that guy didn't get any clients.
I'm surprised. It may have worked. Back when I was in university, they talked about this guy. He was had season tickets to the University of Michigan, and he would buy 5,000 business cards, and during the game, he would throw it up in the air, and he actually got business from that. Hard to believe, huh?
Imagine ordering your food from DoorDash, and then there's a business card for a realtor in there. You're like, I just ordered Chipotle, and you're telling me I'm going to hire you to sell my biggest asset in my life? Or help me buy the biggest asset of my life? No way. It ain't happening.
The answer is hell no.
Those things don't go together.
There are people who are actually successful at it according to how they market. Let's stop the negative. Let's go into it.
But that is the case. And all of those guys, they're leaving. This is one of the things that I've said to real estate agents. Listen, this happens. Industry moves and shakes. And what's going to happen is if you're a quality agent, if you're an agent who gives value, you're an agent who takes it serious with your clientele, right? Taking care of them, answering their phone calls after you sell their home, right? Or help them buy a home. Because a lot of realtors don't do that, guys. A lot of realtors.
Okay, he ain't lying about that. A lot of realtors don't.
They will lose your number.
Hey, don't call me. Don't call me unless you want to buy another house or you want to sell another house. Don't call me about home warranties. I have nothing to do with that.
That's what a lot of realtors do. If they have any problems going up, they be like,
Hey man, you should have done your due diligence. It's not my fault.
No, nobody's gonna say that.
If I lose you, there's 100 other guys who want to buy a house.
Yeah. See, here's the thing. This is why everyone wants to be a listing agent, because if you list a house, you have an 80% chance of selling it. If you go out and try to help a buyer, you have a 20% chance of that person closing on a house.
Sorry. All of those guys, they're gone. They're leaving.
just to show you how bad the industry is changing, a lot of these guys have ran to the new construction.
So first of all, most agents aren't going to say something like that. And for the part he's coming up on, let's talk about it.
Construction area, right? The new construction, because I believe, you know what? I'll just get paid by the builders. I don't have to worry about dealing with these people who don't want to pay me. I'll just go to the corporations. What do we always say on this channel? We say, these companies aren't loyal. And realtors, let me just give you a lesson. Why these companies aren't loyal. Why you should always look at your best interest. Broker commissions are already shrinking for home builders like Toll Brothers. So
I'm going to stop right there for a second. Yeah, they're shrinking. And it's because they were paying this many dog tags. And as time went by, because real estate commissions are negotiable and were negotiable and have been for a long time, the amount that they were paying out to the buyer's agent, the listing agents would keep a lion's share for themselves. And in some parts of the country, it's always been that way, where they would take more dog tags and they would give out to the buyer's agent because their excuse was, well, I have to market the house And so that's the amount I need for marketing. Whatever. As a matter of fact, I was surprised. I had a coach from Wisconsin, and she was like, this is when the commissions were a little bit different for the number of dog tags. And they're like, what? No, here we do it this way. That's why I say real estate is local. When somebody from Wisconsin tells you how things are done and you're some other place, don't listen. But as far as what they're doing is they're just going like, hey, why would we continue paying all these extra dog tags out when you would accept, those are his words, accept lower dog tags from another agent.
So about 65% of our sales involve a realtor, a broker. Co-ops are coming down industry-wide. We're just beginning to see it. But we are already bringing brokerage commissions down in many markets around the country. Right now, the brokerage commission for us around the country is about 2% to 2.5%, and it was 2.5% to 3%. There are some markets that are going to a flat fee. So here's my point. Even the builders.
Yeah, the last one I did, which was last week with the new builder, it was a flat fee. And the difference between what they're paying for the house and the fee, the flat fee that I'm getting is barely 1.5 of these dog tags. It's so stupid that I can't say other stuff. It really is. But it is going that way. And actually, it has been even at the height of the, like the pandemic and stuff. I've been paid plenty of times on a flat fee. Sometimes you're just lucky to get in. And it used to be they would only pay the number of dog tags on the base price. Remember all that other stuff I've talked about in some of my videos where you got the lot fee and got the upgrades and all this stuff? Yeah, you didn't get paid commission on that.
Builders are going to go to a flat fee. That's what I believe. I believe all of these guys are going to go straight to a flat fee because here's the thing. When the DOJ gets involved, when the government gets involved, if you decide that you're going to go against what the change or the industry standard is now, and you're going to go...
Can't be an industry standard. They cannot just come in and force someone to do something. They have to file some kind of a lawsuit, which means this could be years down the line, but people may not want to fight them. They're the government.
Go back and start charging people 3-6% or whatever, paying both sides, right? You're putting yourself in a bind to get sued, right? And it's gonna be probably a class action lawsuit against that corporation, against that company. And a lot of these guys just don't want to deal with it. They're just gonna come in and say,
You know what? We're gonna do a flat fee. That's the way it is. Take it or leave it, real estate agent. You either take the money or you don't take the money.
that's what they're gonna do. That's what they're gonna do.
That's what, who is going to do? What corporation?
And I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you guys, get ready for flat fees. And real estate agents, if you don't understand what's coming down the pike here, if you don't understand that flat fees are probably going to be the answer or the solution to this, and a lot of real estate agents are telling me, Orlando, well,
That basically means if I'm charging $1,500, that means I have to have 20 clients to make what I was making on 2 transactions.
yeah,
Yeah, and that's why it's not going to work. Well, let's talk in a second.
yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right. But let me ask you this, real estate agent, how much were you making at?
So here's the thing. It is so much harder to be a buyer's agent, helping buyers out. Everyone, as soon as they possibly can, they try to become a listing agent because you don't have to do anything except for sit on butt. They don't tell you that much. Being out there is the Lord's work when you're trying to help somebody buy. And remember, every person you figuratively put in the car to go look at houses, only 20% of them will ever close. 20%, that's like real. We're gonna talk a little bit more.
Get at Lowe's. I'm pretty sure you're making more money doing this than you were at Lowe's or doing DoorDash. A lot of you guys treat selling real estate or helping people buy real estate, buy homes, you treat it as a side gig. So if you're gonna treat it as a side gig, and it is a side gig,
Well, maybe you're a side gig lender. Maybe people should treat you the same way. And again, I've talked about this before. Nobody's going after the real money in real estate. A lender makes, as a matter of fact, they're making more technically now because if the number of dog tags goes down, see, now I'm not talking real estate, I can talk what I can. They make an average of 1.5%. not dog tags, because I'm talking about lending now. They make an average of 1.5%. The average realtor closes 11 transactions a year. Full-time realtor. Average overall realtor closes 7. But when you only took a look at full-time realtors, average is 11 per year. A good lender closes 11 per month. Now we're just talking about lender pay now. We're not talking about real estate pay. And let's pretend that it's 1.5% on a $400,000 house. That's $6,000. What's 6,000 times 11? 66,000. Multiply that times 12. Now, I'm not saying they're going to do it all year. A lot of that could come during the buying season and everything else. If you go and you look up the average salary, or at least the average amount that a lender makes, it's almost 4 times what a realtor makes. And they're not getting in a hot car in the middle of 115 degrees. They're not in the Midwest with snow up to their butts showing homes. So it's real easy for him to say some bull.
Then why wouldn't you care about charging someone $1,500 versus getting paid, $10,000?
I would love for the DOJ to come after lenders and go like, you know what? You should only make $1,000 for helping somebody get a loan. Wonder how well that'll go. Wonder if he'll start being like, us lenders, we were making so much money. It's a good thing they're coming after us.
$1,000 on one transaction. I'm just saying, if it's a side gig, then let it be a side gig, right? You should get paid.
Nobody has time to close one deal to show 5 people around for $1,500. That's not a side gig. In California, you work at McDonald's, you'll make much more. Oh, by the way, you have a bunch of expenses they don't talk about that these guys don't even have. Like you gotta, comp out your broker. Nearly half of all real estate transactions come as some form of referral. Referrals go as much as 45% now because the referral companies, they started realizing they like to make a certain amount and realtors are getting paid less and less. So they just keep raising it. 45%. I've literally seen that. That's 50% of all transactions. Wow. They don't have referral stuff that much on this end. The most I've seen is somebody, is an English speaker and they have someone who comes in who's uncomfortable speaking English. They find another lender who speaks that language and then they get 25%. Wow. Then there's the brokers. You know how you have to split it with the broker. So you're telling me the $1,500, I got to now give 45% up to, most of them average about 35 now. Don't want to twist it around like my boy here. Most of them are about 35. And for agent to agent, it's normally about 25. But that's 50% of all transactions. And then I got to split it with the broker. So you're telling me I'm going to show you 20 houses, do all this work, middle of the summer, for the possibility of 1 in 5 to collect $1,500 or $2,000 to split it off to collect $700. Get the French toast out of here.
Paid as a side gig, not as a full-time, full customer, giving everything to.
And part of it is kind of like, like when you go into a store and you go like, man, price out. Well, we've been having a lot of shrinkage, AKA theft. Well, I'm not a thief. You should charge me this amount. What store says, you know what? You look good. You're not a thief. Those commissions on the buy side, remember, I do both. So I can tell you the pain of both. I just listed a house today. As a matter of fact, while we're on, the final paperwork was signed. I'm going to take the photos in a couple of days. See, here's the thing. Those 1 in 5, it makes itself up. He doesn't take into account, after doing all of that, what it boils down to. So even if you're a part-time realtor, okay, you collect X amount of dollars or dog tags. You split it out, but it helped you show houses to those other 4. Let's go on.
To my clients. Again, I just wanted to make this video because I wanted to let you guys know what is coming down this path. I'm telling you, the government is not playing on this.
They may not be.
When the DOJ gets involved and they start poking their nose in cases and say, this don't go far enough. Realtor, it's going to be a tough path. Real estate agents probably shouldn't have been making all of those social media posts or all those videos or, you know, an X and all this other stuff talking about,
Oh, there's loopholes. Let's show you how you can do it. How are we gonna get past it?
you probably just should have. What do attorneys say? Be quiet.
I can agree on that.
Shut
Thing
your
is, they
mouth.
weren't loopholes,
Don't
they were
say
showing.
anything. That's probably what you should have did, but you did it, and now we're here. But guys, listen. You won't get all of your value from this one video. You won't. You just won't. You need to watch
Here it
this video
comes.
right here. It will give you housing market news. It will give you financial news and information on how to get into your first rental property. The information you will get from my videos.
From building his list. So let's go ahead and talk about the flat fee. The part that he doesn't talk about, know about, or want to talk about. If you're going to charge somebody $1,500, $2,000 to show them houses, that is going to be collected up front. Win, lose, or draw, it's going to be a certain number of houses. I will show you X number of houses for $1,500. If you want to see more, you can put money back into the bank. How many people want to do that? Okay, what are the alternatives? You can go to open houses, which is going to be a small percentage, what you can see, so you're going to be locked out of all these others. Oh, you're going to go and go to the listing agent. That's going to be fun. The listing agent represents the seller. That's number one. Number two, you're going to have to be on the listing agent's time. How are you going to make all those appointments? You just came into town for the weekend. Oh, I'm going to go see 15 houses. So now you got to make 15 appointments with 15 realtors to go see the house. Oh, by the way, I'm busy. I can show the house at 2 p.m. Well, I'm not available at 2. I'm looking at this house over here. These are things that your realtor did for you or does for you now. These are the things that can be taken away on top of having to pay up front. Now, you know, when he's talking about the listing side, yeah, there are flat fee brokers. So if it works on the buyer side, what does this list work on the seller side? Why? And I'm serious. Oh, you want me to show this house? You're only giving me a certain number of dog tags here, and I got to take my time to come here. This wasn't the deal. My deal was to market your house. So now that person's probably getting more. Or they're saying, I will show your house this number of times. Or like I saw this, actually it was in person. They will only show your house on Thursdays between 3 and 6 p.m. Think your house is going to sell for as much money? No. And as far as paying a flat fee, a company came to the United States from Europe. It's called Purple Bricks. They had a novel idea. We'll charge you, make it up, $14.95. I got to go look. It was low. And we will sell your house for you. Problem is, they did it the European way. They collected their money up front. Nobody wanted to pay up front. So who's going to be hurt by this? It's going to be people without means. If you have some money to pay a realtor up front, even win, lose, or draw, you'll be fine because you're going to be able to get into houses cheaper because fewer people are seeing them. There's going to be less of a chance of a bidding war. So this is great for you. So these are my opinions. I'm going to let Mr. Miner here have his opinions. From what I can tell, he's trying to do list building. It's a technique. So he puts out all these negative videos and you go there and then you sign up.
See you in the next one.
He's got a list to market things to you and sell. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing whatsoever. But he's giving you bad advice, bad information. If you go to his channel, I'm trying to see if I can find something. from the day of this that's positive. Homeowners' expenses skyrocket up to 200%. Is it worth it? Government bans realtor commissions, which is the video we're on. McDonald's is desperate. Mass teacher layoffs. Recession is here. This is just going back through his videos. Rent prices crash. Overpriced homes crisis. Property taxes jump 650%. Housing market crash. Recession starts. Do not buy a house. Home sellers regret buying, losing thousands of dollar signs. Dollar, dollar, dollar. Really? Really? That was in order. Nothing to teach you how to do something. Just negative, negative. And he's growing like crazy. I mean, he's got what? As of this recording, 57,700 subscribers. I first saw his stuff when he was at like 20,000. So in a year, he's tripled. It's negative. If it bleeds, it leads. But if you want some good information about what's going on, I hope this channel is good for you. It doesn't matter if you're looking to buy in 9 or 90 days, sell in 9 or 90 days, or make a transaction next year. I'm here for you. All you got to do is call, text, or email. My information is down below. And more importantly, get on the calendar, because that way you're not calling while I'm driving and I can't answer a question right for you because I don't have a computer in front of me. You're not calling while I'm trying to talk to my son's teacher. You see what I'm saying? I want to make sure that you have a good experience. This channel is all about education. If you want to be in on that, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell notification. And from all my military brothers and sisters, as I always say, Alpha Mike Foxtrot. And for the rest of you beautiful people, we're going to keep them lights on for you.